Maybe for people that don't know and don't remember where they were when I left the WWE in 2000, maybe you should explain that everything was going good. I'd been there since 1993, I think, and JR and I were the voice of the WWE. We were the main guys on Monday Night Raw, doing the show every single Monday night, and all of a sudden one day out of the blue, we were, it was like midday. Everybody was there getting ready for their matches that night, getting ready to do Raw Live. And JR called me into his office and said, Jerry, I just got a message from Vince, and man, I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what to do. And I said, what is it? What's the problem? And he said, well, I just got word from Vince they want to give Stacy, which was my wife at the time, and she was working there in the WWE as the Cat. He said they want to give her release, and he said I just can't tell her, because JR and I and Stacy, we were close. We traveled together all the time there and everything. And so he said can you tell her? And I sort of thought it was a joke. I said, what you mean? You mean you just got word from Vince that they're firing Stacy, and you want me to tell her? And he said, man, I just don't have the heart to tell her. And so I said, well, can I go talk to Vince? And he said, yeah, I wish you would. So I went down to Vince's office, knocked on the door, and I'm still thinking maybe this is a rib, maybe it's a joke or something, And so Vince said, King, come on in. And so I told Vince, I said, hey, JR just called me in his office and said that you guys are giving Stacy her release. And he said, yeah. He said, not my decision. And I said, not your decision? Well, whose decision is it? And he said, I guess creatives or talent relations. And I said, well, I'm thinking in my mind, I didn't say this, I'm thinking, well, JR is the head of talent relations, and he just told me that it was a surprise to him, so I'm thinking maybe I didn't know what to think. And so I said, well, what's the reason? What did she do? What's the problem? And Vince said, I really don't know. So I'm just confused. I didn't know what to do. And so the first thing that popped into my mind was I sure didn't want her to lose her job, and I didn't want to go tell her that she had lost her job. So I quickly concocted what I thought would work. I'm thinking, well, JR and I are the established voices of the WWE. They're certainly not going to, Stacy was just, a minor player at the time on the roster. And I said, well, maybe if I stick up for her and, pull a little power play here, that they'll keep her on and rather than losing me and her. So I told Vince, I said, well, I said, if I got to go tell her that she's fired and she's got to leave, Vince, I'm just going to have to go with her. And, I immediately thought that Vince is going to say, yeah, King, well, let's give this a second thought. Let's take a look, hang on. Let's look at what's going on here. But that's not what happened. Instead, when I said, Vince, if she's got to go, I'm just have to leave with her. Vince just, so matter-of-factly, just so casually, just turned to me and stuck his hand out and said, well, King, we really appreciate everything you've done for us.
Wow.
And I was dumbfounded. I reached out and I shook his hand, and no more was said. I didn't say another word. He didn't either. And I just turned and walked out of his office, and I went to the locker room and I called Stacy out and I said, well, we've both just been fired. And she said, what? And then I told her exactly what happened. And, we went and, we got our stuff. And I told JR what happened, and he couldn't believe it. And I think I told somebody this. I kept thinking, somewhere as we're walking out to our rental car, somebody's going to jump out and go, ha, 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 we got you. And this is all going to be a big rib or whatever. But no, that wasn't the case. We went out and got in the car and came home, and, we were just both out of the WWE.